All right, so we mix it till it's creamy. You shouldn't see any white chunks or chunks of brown sugar. It's going to be one smooth mass. Let me get you 2 eggs. It's a good idea. You don't have to do this, but I like to crack my eggs in a bowl or a measuring cup. See, I have my waste bowl. Table 6, are you with us? Put your phone away. You may just want to dump your eggs in here, but turn it off first. Why do we turn it off first? In case the shell goes in there. The shell goes in there while it's running, you can't get it out. So right here I know there's no shell in there. I can dump it in. Half a cup of sour cream. My sour cream container fell and broke this morning. Hey, I need you guys to hold it down, please. So here's my sour cream. I started to say, before I was interrupted, hey, I need you guys to hold it down, please. Especially you football players.
Tony, be quiet.
As football players, I can call your coach if you're misbehaving. All right, so recipe says sour cream, buttermilk, or sour milk, or plain yogurt. You won't have your choice because all I have is sour cream. But if you make this at home, you can use any of those. While that's mixing, I'm going to get my dry ingredients together. And I'm going to be working right where you're standing, so. And I'm going to need that space right here. Now, the recipe says dump your flour in here, your salt, your baking soda. But I feel like it's mixed better if I mix all my dry ingredients together first. So that's up to you. But I'm going to mix them together first. Before I do that, though, I'm going to clean out my measuring cup because it's got powdered sugar in it from last period. And I don't want powdered sugar in the flour. All right, unfortunately I can't get this on camera. But here's how we measure flour. Use a dry measuring cup. Fill it to overflowing. You do not pack it in. You scrape it off. We did, yep. You're going to do it in the bin. You're not going to do it up high like this because it goes on the floor when you do it up high like this. Okay, overflowing, scrape it off. I'll do the next one low so I don't make a mess. All right. Now we need a half a cup of whole wheat flour. Anybody know why we use whole wheat flour? Just makes it a little bit healthy, that's all. I know, it's only a half a cup. I know, but it's only half a cup. So my half a cup is dirty with sour cream. So I'm going to use a quarter cup. How many quarters make a half? 2.
Cause you can't even see nothing. I know you can't.
Salt, teaspoon of salt. And yeah, salt and cooking salt. Yep. Baking soda. What's baking soda do? Jennifer? Makes it rise. It's called what kind of agent? Leavening agent. Last week we used baking powder as our leavening agent. This week we used baking soda. Now, whether you mix these together or not, you still want to add your dry ingredients a third at a time. Rihanna, how much are we going to add at a time? I'd like you to pay attention, please, so you know this stuff. At least pay attention. At least be quiet so the people around you can pay attention. A third at a time. If you need to scrape down the sides, turn it off. This mixer is about ready to die. Now it's getting quite a bit slower because it's thicker. So I'm going to scrape down the sides, give it one last mix. Then that's it for day one. Guys, stop talking, please. So my TA will give you a container. It'll be coated with your kitchen. How do you know what color? How do you know what kitchen number you?
Our color.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It'll be color coded by your kitchen. There'll be a little bit bigger container than we used last time. Try and get all your cookie batter off your blade and out of your bowl. It's going to go in your storage container.
I smell it.
Hurry.
The camera on your face.
And you're going to refrigerate it overnight. This one's been refrigerated since yesterday. All right, these are baking sheets. And I don't know if you can read it, but it says use foil on it. But we're not going to use foil.
I'll let you spot.
We're not going to use it bare.
He said that's
We're going to use parchment paper. Now these are pre-cut sheets, and they're big. So you have to cut them or fold them, because this will burn, as in catch on fire. So I'm going to fold it back so it's not hanging over the edge. On day 2, when you first come in, what are you going to do before you wash your hands? Reheat your oven. Quiet down, please. These are cookie scoops. They're nice to have. I got one for each kitchen. They're just like ice cream scoops, except they're half the size. So you're going to, let's see, we need to move the table.
Pull the trigger.
Why you look so mean?
Oh yeah.
We want uniform cookies. Why do we want uniformity? That's what uniformity means, but why do we want that? Because we're communists? Somebody said it. Why do we want them uniform?
So the same.
So they bake the same, right. We have a small one and a big one. Please stop talking. If you guys like, if you want to talk, then we'll do this tomorrow, which means you won't get to make cookies tomorrow. Or if you need to talk that much, you can just leave, so the rest of us don't have to hear your mouth going. Be courteous to people around you. If you don't care about how to make cookies, that's fine. I don't care. But I will not have you be rude to people around you, including me. All right. So I have staggered these. See how they're not all in the same row? And why is that?
That space.
So as they grow, they're not going to grow into each other. These are a little bit close together, though. I'll do my next row a little bit farther. 2 sheets. All your dough will fit on 2 sheets. That's all the sheets you have in each kitchen. There's not a third sheet in your kitchen. So if you finish all your dough and it doesn't fit on 2 sheets, then make it fit.
For real. How many cookies does it make?
It makes about 34 cookies. This
What
size.
the heck? What size are we making? How much are we gonna make?
About 34.
For real? That's a lot of cookies.
All right, so you see this? That's what it should look like. I'm going to go around there. Okay, it's called staggering. You're going to do 2 sheets at a time. Don't stick in one sheet while you're scooping out the other sheet. Get them all scooped out. Get your bowl emptied out. 2 baking sheets ready to go. So you open the door once, stick them in, shut the door once until they're done. Does that make sense? Don't try and step and do it in waves. We don't have time, or it doesn't work well that way. As soon as you shut the door, what are you going to do next? Set your timer. Do not use your phone as a timer. I will take it away. Timers are not sanitary. They're in sweaty pockets. Girls stick them in their, you know what? All right, directions say 8 to 10 minutes. So what do I set my timer at?
8 minutes. 9 minutes? 8 minutes.
8, always the smallest number. Why?
Simple.
Right, it could be done at 8, and you don't want to go to 9 if it's already done at 8. In other words, once it's burnt, you can't go back. You can always go forward, but you can never go back. So that's set at 8 minutes. And
What's that on top?
Huh? What?
now while those are in the oven, you're going to make your frosting. The frosting is the magic of these cookies. Please stop talking. You know, Jason, why don't you turn around, please? I mean, it's just polite to be facing the speaker. Thanks. And anyone else who's got their back at me, I don't mean to pick on him. Thank you. All right, so this is the magic of these cookies, is this frosting. And there's 2 things that people have difficulty with. I'm going to try and stress those as best I can right now. First of all, we're going to burn the butter. You heard me right. We're going to burn, B-U-R-N, we're going to burn the butter. We're not going to burn it black. We're going to slightly burn it. If you don't burn the butter, these cookies are just average. If you burn the butter the right amount, these cookies will be fantastic. Excuse me. Now we're using real butter, not margarine. And when you get up here on Friday, your butter will be pre-measured. A half a stick is 1/4 of a cup. So I will cut those for you. I get 3 sticks, cut them in half. There'll be 6 sections, 1/4 cup each. Put your heat on high, unless you're using that super large burner.
Drop.
Okay. Now it's not going to burn until it melts. The first thing it's going to do is melt. While that's melting, I'm going to measure out my powdered sugar. Would you grab the big glass measuring cup out of kitchen 3 or 4, please? Yeah, he can get it. Yeah. Now I'm going to need to move the table too. Alrighty. Got some brown sugar in our big measuring cup. Thank you, sir. This way, this way.
The wire.
All right, so that's... Sometimes it's called confectioner's sugar. Sometimes it's powdered sugar. Same as with the flour. Fill it overflowing. Please stop talking. Fill it overflowing and scrape it off. 1 cup. 2 cups.
What?
I'm going to go ahead and put my vanilla in here. How much vanilla does it take?
1 teaspoon.
3/4 to 1 teaspoon. I like vanilla, so I'm going to put in a teaspoon.
Really got some left.
Where's the controller?
I know, I better hope we got some more. All right, my butter is starting to melt, but not completely. So what color are we looking for when our butter burns?
The color of the dough.
Color of the dough. Or the cookies, if you will. Keep stirring it, because where's it going to burn first? On the bottom.
Why you look like that?
My arm's tight.
It'll foam up, and it's hard to see the burnt part through the foam, so you have to take it off the heat periodically for the foam to subside, and then let it cook a little bit more. What are we going to do to the butter? Burn it, not too much. If it's black, come and see me. I'll give you some more butter. This is a hard thing, burning it on purpose. It's going to get real aromatic. Can you smell it at all? And you guys will be on gas burners, so if you're not sure, just turn it off and call me over. I'll tell you. I'm here to help. Gas burners are nice because when you turn them off, they go off. Electric burners, you got to take them off the heat because they're still hot. And when it starts to brown, it'll go from light brown to black in seconds. So you really got to keep watching it constantly. When it starts foaming up like this, we're getting close.
Should look like you're making it.
'Cause it's boiling.
Oh, I smell it now.
It don't smell like nothing.
I gotta go. I smell it all the way up.
Can you pour it on popcorn? You can.
Butter like that.
Sure.
It's gonna take.
Come up and see it if you want to. Look at it up close so you know what we're looking for.
Hey, bro. You don't ever know. You think something can be so simple and they put all that extra shit in there.
Ooh, that's
All right, it's kind of hard to tell.
That's how you smell.
Now you, then you.
It's burnt at the bottom.
Josh, you want to see?
Oh, it looks orange.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Crandall, would you open the door? Add 2 more minutes to the timer.
That shit stink. That shit's big nasty.
All right, that's tough. This is even tougher.
Oh shit.
How much milk do we add to the frosting?
1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2 tablespoons.
What does it say in the procedure?
1.5 tablespoons to 2.
What does it say in the procedure?
Stir in just enough for desired.
Just enough to desired consistency. In other words, do not just dump in 2 tablespoons and call it good. Frosting is dependent on the weather, how much moisture is in the air and how hot it is. And there are times when no milk is plenty. There are times when you need to add more. So you got to use your what? Brain. So this is very dry. You can't spread this on a cookie, it's dry. So I'm going to add a little milk. I'm not going to add 2 tablespoons. Just enough to make it get wet enough so that I can spread it on cookies. I don't want it to be drizzly because then when I put it on the cookie it'll just run off. And also keep in mind, if my cookies are warm at all, it's going to melt. So I want it to be thick, but not too thick. And it takes time to figure out how thick you want it.
It's too wet.
Too wet, head ass.
Too wet.
But you got to let the cookies cool. But just take it out, put it on top.
Don't burn it though.
That's so smart.
Hey, boy.
Yeah, I need you to do that.
I didn't want to drop it.
Turn it on. Wait for the timer.
turn it off.
Hold on, just this right here in the front.
Put it on my desk, please.